Hi everyone. So today we are going to learn about the intercept, about the intercept in the slope intercept form. Okay. How many kinds of intercepts are there? How to find out the intercepts, and that's these things we need to learn here. Okay. So question one, how many types of intercepts are there? How many types of intercepts are there? There are two kind of intercepts. First of all, that's X intercept. What is the definition of X-intercept? X-intercept is the point, X-intercept is the point where the graph crosses the x-axis or touches the x-axis or intersecting the x-axis. Okay, and what do you mean by y-intercept? So y-intercept is the point where the graph crosses the y-axis, or you can say touches the y-axis, or you can say intersecting the y-axis, intersecting the y-axis. Now come to the practical. But it says, suppose I'm drawing a curve. That's clear. X-intercept and y-intercept. Suppose I'm drawing some curve. This is the coordinate axis, you can see. Give it a name. This y-axis, x-axis, negative y, negative x. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And similarly, we have drawn the axes, -1, -2, -3, -4, and so on. Now, suppose I'm drawing a line, a linear line, which is passing through these points. More likely to be here. Now, what would be the x-intercept of the line? So according to the definition, x-intercept is the coordinate point where the curve passes through the x-axis, or where the curve crosses the x-axis. So this curve is crossing the x-axis. X-axis is this one, right? Crossing the x-axis at this point, right? 4. So this point is 4, 0. So x-intercept should be 4, 0. What would be the y-intercept then? Y-intercept is the point, coordinate point, where the curve, this white curve, crosses the y-axis. So it crosses the y-axis at this point, right? And this point is 0, 3. So y-intercept is 0, 3. That's all. So if you are given some graph and you need to find out the x-intercept and y-intercept, you can easily find out it, correct? Done. The second kind of question, you will be given an equation. Suppose 2x plus 4y, that's equals 16. Or maybe you take this point as 2x plus 3y, that's equals 6. Okay. Now, how to find out the x-intercept and y-intercept? From an equation, the graph will not be provided. You will be provided the equation. So this equation is given, and find out the x-intercept and find out the y-intercept of the curve. So in this respect, to solve this kind of question, please remember the x-axis. On the entire x-axis, if you choose some point like 1, 0, this point is 1, 0, this is 2, 0, this one is 3, 0, this one is 4, 0, this one is 5, 0, and so on, right? Also negative 1, 0, negative 2, 0, negative 3, 0, and so on. So what is the common point there? You can see that for all the points on x-axis, the y-ordinate is 0, right? The y is always 0. Suppose you are taking this one, the coordinate is 5 and 0. So see, y is always 0. So you can say the equation of x-axis is y equals 0, right? And similarly, you can take some points, suppose on the y-axis. On the y-axis, if you take any point, suppose 4, this point is 0, 4, right? This point is 0, 3. Take this point, this is negative 2, that's 0, negative 2. So you can see for all the points on y-axis, the x coordinate is 0. That means the equation of y-axis is x equals 0. So what are the two things you need to remember here? The equation of x-axis and the equation of y-axis. X-axis is also called y equals 0 axis, right? Y equals 0 axis, or y-axis is also called x equals 0 axis. So what we need to remember to find out x-intercept, it means where the curve is intersecting the y-axis, correct? No, where the curve is intersecting the x-axis. X-intercept where the curve is intersecting the x-axis. So to find out the y-intercept, we need to plug in y equals 0 in the given equation. In this equation, you should plug in y equals 0. Why? Because we are finding out the x-intercept, right? And x-intercept is this thing. Suppose this is the x-intercept 5, where it's intersecting the x-axis. And x-axis means equation of x-axis is y equals 0. That's why I'm plugging in y equals 0. We will learn it. Like why it's x equals 0 and why y equals 0 represents these axes. We will learn it later while graphing the linear equation again. Okay, so y equals 0 means we can write 2x plus 3y, or let it be here. If we take this equation 2x plus 3y, that's equals 6, and you're plugging in y equals 0, right? Y equals 0. That means 2 times x plus 3y means 3 times 0, that's equals 6. So 2x, 3 times 0 is 0, that's equals 6. Divide both sides by 2 and you will get x equals 6 over 2, which is 3. So the y-intercept, to find out the y-intercept, you're finding y equals 0. When y equals 0, x equals 3, right? So your point should be 3 and 0. Done. Next. Now need to find out the x-intercept. How? Sorry, x-intercept is already been found out. The y-intercept. Go to the y-intercept. For y-intercept, do the opposite thing. Plug in x equals 0 into the equation. So this, take the equation 2x plus 3y equals 6 and plug in x equals 0. So 2 times x equals 0, right? 2 times 0 plus 3y, that's equals 6. 3y equals 6. You can divide both sides by 3 and 3. So you will get y equals 6 over 3, that's 2. So y equals 2. You are getting the points 0 and 2. So y-intercept will be your 0 and 2. So no need of graphing. You can just remember two things. To find out the x-intercept, you should plug in y equals 0 in the equation. And to find out the y-intercept, you should plug in x equals 0 in the given equation. And why? Because x-intercept is the point where the curve is passing through the x-axis, and x-axis means y equals 0. That's why y equals 0. And y-intercept is the point where the curve is passing through the y-axis, and y-axis means x equals 0. That's why to find out y-intercept, you need to plug in x equals 0. So you got 2 points, right? 3, 0, which is here. And another point you got 3, 0 here, and 0 and 2. 0, 2 means this. So I have got at least 2 points, and you can join this 2 point to get the ultimate equation of the curve, sorry, to get the ultimate graph of the curve. So this is the curve, and you can extend it. You can extend it further. Join and extend. So if an equation is given, you just find out the x-intercept, you just find out the y-intercept, draw the 2 points on the coordinate plane, and just join them and extend the line to get the graph of the linear equation. So 2x plus 3y equals 6, that represents this line. That's all.